Just going to briefly pause our coverage of the Prime Minister's appearance before the Commons Liaison Committee to bring you the latest coronavirus data, because we have significant figures this afternoon. A further 1,564 people have died within 28 days of testing positive for COVID-19. That figure is the highest number of UK deaths reported on a single day since the outbreak began. 1,564 people have died in the last day with coronavirus. That is up from a figure of 1,243 yesterday. In terms of the number of cases, positive cases recorded, that figure today is 47,525, up by just over 2,000 from yesterday, when the figure was 45,533. Let's bring in Sky's Milena Veselinovic, who joins us from the newsroom. And that figure in terms of the number of deaths, highest daily figure ever recorded, Milena, is stark indeed.
It's very alarming, Sarah, and it's actually the 15th time that the number of deaths has been above 1,000, and it is a dire situation for the people who have suffered with this illness and all of their friends and family who now mourn them. And there is no doubt that it is a complex situation across the UK right now. There are 35,000 people suffering with coronavirus in hospitals. Now, that is 70% more than at the peak of the first wave in April. That's what Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, told earlier on today to MPs. He also said that there might be some signs that these restrictions may be giving some results, no doubt prompted by a slightly lower number of cases that we've been seeing in the last 2 or 3 days. But when you're faced with such a high death toll, there's no doubt that we're a long way away from having an exit out of this crisis. Right now, the Prime Minister also said that he would not count out adding some further restrictions if the number of cases doesn't decline fast enough. And in fact, the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, has today called on the Prime Minister to instigate stricter restrictions. Sadiq Khan has declared a major incident in London last Friday because of the level of numbers of coronavirus patients rushing to London hospitals. He has suggested that, for example, places of worship should be closed as well, the way they were in the first lockdown. As I said, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, said that he would consider tougher restrictions if they were necessary. Now, part of the way and the strategy to get out of this situation is also vaccination. And we've heard from the Prime Minister today that there may be 24/7 vaccination centres on the way, he said, as soon as possible. And AstraZeneca, the manufacturer of the Oxford vaccine, said that they would be able to scale up production to about 2 million doses per week by mid-February. But until then, there's a concerning, alarming set of data that we've have seen today. And if you look at the R rate, the R number for the UK, that is the number of people that one infected person passes the virus onto. Now, that's between 1 and 1.4, and that means that for now the outbreak is still growing exponentially, Sarah.
OK, Milena Veselinovic, thanks very much indeed. I'm just looking at some more figures coming into us on vaccinations. And let me see if I can get that figure. The total in the last 24-hour period, there were 47,525 new infections. 1,564 deaths were recorded of people who have died within 28 days of a positive test, and that bringing the total number of people who've died with COVID-19 to 84,767. In terms of that vaccine figure that I was mentioning, 3 million vaccines have been administered so far in the UK. 2.6 million of those are first doses.